Alberto Fujimori, one of the most controversial leaders in Peru's history, is a free man. He climbed into this gray car and out of the Peruvian prison system. The uproar surrounding his release coming as Peru's constitutional court gave the green light more than a decade early in a 25-year sentence related to death squad killings in the 90s. Relatives of victims of the massacre protesting in the capital, while Fujimori's supporters took to the streets to sing and dance in celebration. Why do people feel so strongly on both sides?
Transparency International considered him the seventh most corrupt president anywhere in the world from 1980s to the 2000s, estimating that he stole $861 million. He's also in jail for overseeing a death squad that killed 25 innocent Peruvians.
Fujimori's decade in power did include tamping down inflation, bringing economic stability to Peru, and defeating a guerrilla terrorist group. But he also trampled on democracy, dissolving the nation's Congress in a self-coup in 1992 with the help of armed forces and taking complete control of the government. Fujimori's power coinciding with violence and the massacre of 25 people.
Rechazo los cargos, totalmente. Soy inocente.
In 2009, Fujimori was sentenced to 25 years in prison on charges of human rights abuses, until being granted a humanitarian pardon by then-President Pablo Kuczynski in 2017, shortly after being rushed to a hospital at risk of dying in an exchange for political support. Footage showing Fujimori reading the presidential pardon with his son from his hospital bed.
If he's guilty of grievous crimes, why was he pardoned in the first place?
He was pardoned in 2017 as part of a political pact between then-President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski and Fujimori's son, who was a political operator. And he basically leveraged support in Congress to help Kuczynski stave off an impeachment attempt. So he essentially purchased his dad's freedom.
That pardon was eventually suspended under pressure from thousands of protesters, as well as the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, sending him back to jail. 5 years later, those same international groups once again calling on the courts to keep Fujimori behind bars, though their pleas ultimately fell on deaf ears.
Sam Brock joins us tonight from Miami. Sam, so many developments on this story. As you mentioned in your spot there, 5 years ago, the international community made it clear they wanted to keep Fujimori behind bars. The courts listened then. So what's changed now that he's a free man?
Yeah, Tom, it's a great question because the international pressure is still there. The biggest change right now is the Congress of Peru, that their government effectively has transformed in recent years to become a parliamentary system effectively, which is to say a very strong Congress, a very weak presidency, and that the members of Congress exert incredible influence over the courts. And in this case, the Congress in Peru right now is embroiled in controversy. You have members there who are accused of effectively co-opting independent institutions, taking bribes, intimidating judges, and to create a smoke screen. Experts tell us that what they were doing is releasing this former president right now in order to get people to stop talking about their own scandals. And very telling, Tom, members of Congress were actually there in front of the prison tonight as he was released.
Sam Brock for us with that breaking development. All right, Sam, we thank you for your reporting.